Last night I was washing the dishes. It was about 9:30 at night and my husband Greg had just come home. He sat down, we chatted for a while, and then he left and I didn't really notice what he was doing. Then he stuck his head in the door and he said, "Guess what I found?" I was like, "I don't know, a pair of socks?" And he said, "No." And he reached around and he pulled something out and I screamed. I was like, "What?" You want to find out what it was? Stay tuned. He reached around the corner and asked me if I knew what he found, and I assumed that he was probably going to bring out a cookie or a cake or a piece of pie or something or a box of crackers. I don't know. Was not expecting anything really, and so he stuck his hand around the corner and I literally screamed because I was so excited. And this is what he brought. Hold on. This little precious little baby is so cute. Doesn't have a name yet, but I was like, what in the world? Just the other day I had been saying how I have never had a calico kitten, and I always thought they were so precious. Well, they are precious, and this one is no exception. And so it was a crazy thing. He was driving home and somebody had literally just dropped it off on the side of the road because, you know, it hadn't even gone, and it was very scared. And I'm keeping it in here to keep it warm. It was very scared, but he was able to get it, and without it going too berserk, well, when he gave it to me, it just snuggled up. I put it in the pocket of my hoodie, and that's where he wanted to stay. He snuggled there. He was so relaxed, and I was just like, wow, I was so happy. We weren't looking for a kitten. We just kind of felt like it was meant to be. And so I was asking him where it was, and then I was kind of mad because we got down to 24 last night, and yeah, it was very late at night. It was 9:30, but it was well after dark, and so the temperature was dropping. And he's you know, it's rare that there's 2 kittens in a litter, so we thought, well, maybe that there's more. So I texted our boys, which are on their way home, and I told them to keep a lookout. Well, they texted me back and they said there's 3 more, but the 3 more were a little bit bigger, and they wouldn't be caught. And so I said 2 kittens, and I sort of gave that away. Well, he found the little calico one, and he also found a little striped one, but the striped one kind of went crazy when he put it in the car, and he crawled up behind the glove compartment and he wouldn't come out. And so he went out there when he got home and he wouldn't come out, and this little cat just hissing and spitting at him. And then I went out a little while later and I couldn't see anything. He said you could see the tail, but I couldn't see anything, and I just heard hissing, hiss, hiss. I was like, wow, this is some spunky little cat. Didn't want to come out, but we couldn't leave him in there because it was going to get so cold. So eventually, somehow, Greg got him out. And so then we had 2. And this one is adorable too. His little paws, and he has little tufts on his ears like a bobcat. And so here they are. Obviously brothers and sisters. I don't know if they were so cute. It was the best surprise. And I don't know if we're going to keep them both. But unfortunately, we felt terrible because the boys could not get the other ones. They went back and they were able to get them, but when they tried to put them in the car, they scratched them all up. They both came back with scratches on their arms and faces, and just the cats ran away, and they were ran up into the woods. And it, you know, we wanted to go back and get them. I wanted to go back right away, but it wasn't possible. For one, when the boys came back, by the time they got back and everything, it was like 10:30. So it was super dark, but along the stretch of the road, it's really narrow, so it's kind of dangerous to pull over. But also, the way that where the kittens were goes straight up, and you would come out, don't you? And then the other side goes straight down, so like goes down into a creek. And so it's dangerous. We couldn't have been tromping around, and they only had the lights from their phones. So these little kittens were super, super thirsty, super friendly, and they just slept with us all night long. This little calico one slept on top of my chest and was so sweet. And then in the morning, they were just ravenous. Anyway, that is the surprise, and I'll show you a few pictures of these little guys, but they're wanting to get wiggly right now, so I'm going to put them back inside because we don't want them to run away. And Adam and I, we went back in the morning when it was light, and we searched for like an hour, and we couldn't find them. Andrew drove to work this morning, and on his way to work, he saw one of them, and it ran up in the woods. And so we came probably 30 minutes later, and we couldn't find any trace of any cats at all. And so we felt terrible. And then we went back after lunch today to look again, and we still couldn't find them. So we're praying that they'll be okay. They were a little bit bigger. They were just a little bit, a little bit smaller than Charlie, and he's over a year old. And so we're hoping that they'll be, I mean, honestly, I don't know. I don't think they'll be okay because it's so cold. We're supposed to be down in the mid-20s again tonight, and I just hate it. I hate it when people, you know, we're not supposed to hate people, but I do hate people who are cruel to animals or people. And so, yeah, it was just mean. There's no houses around there, so they had to know that these kittens would be really bad off. And we don't even know if we found them all. There could be more kittens. But anyway, I'm cutting this short because they're getting restless. So that was the best surprise. I can think of 3 surprises in my life that were really good surprises. Maybe 4. Okay, I think 4. One, I must have been 5 or 6, because I remember we lived in Carrington, North Dakota, in this really old farmhouse that was cold. And I remember waking up, I don't remember waking up. My dad woke me up one morning, like before I would ever have gotten up. And I didn't know what was going on, but I thought I was dreaming. And he set in my bed a little kitten, and I'm pretty sure it was a gray kitten, although I cannot remember. I just remember he woke me up with a kitten, and I thought it was so amazing because I've always loved kittens, and that was my surprise. Another surprise that I had was when I was 16, my mom and my dad and my family somehow pulled off a big birthday surprise for me where my friends came. They made me go babysit for somebody, and I was like so bummed out about babysitting on my birthday, and I was like, oh, I can't believe I'm babysitting on my birthday. Well, they were in on the roost, and I came back home and everybody was there, and it was really amazing. So this is the 4th wonderful surprise, because I haven't had I don't know, it's pretty cool. The 3rd surprise chronologically is when Greg asked me to marry him. That I was not expecting that at that time. And so, yeah, some good surprises. I do like surprises, and I hope that you enjoy seeing these little kitties. They brought me a lot of joy. I had been actually feeling a little bit down and disheartened and just kind of bummed out with the whole homesteading, building, whole process. It was getting kind of old, and this was kind of just a pick-me-up that I needed. And so I don't know if we'll keep them. I think we'll keep the calico one for sure, but it's so hard to split them up because they're such good pals. We've been having a great day. So anyway, enjoy a few pictures of these little guys. And they want to get out, so I'm turning this thing off. When we first got them, they were so friendly and sweet, and we thought, wow, these cats are so chill. Well, they were pretty hungry and pretty thirsty, and so once they got a little food in them, they came alive. Well, the first time we fed them, wow, the little calico one was so scrappy. He was not going to take anything from anybody. He was growling and hissing and making sure nobody got his food. And then after that first time, then they've been nibbling all day. And so they they relaxed a little bit after they realized that they didn't have to fight for their food. So we think that these cats have been not raised in a barn. They are pretty used to interaction with people. So it's really strange, the happenings of why they ended up on the road. Somebody had to have dropped them, but it seems like they are used to people. So here they are, just munching away.
Spoiling the tough guy look, you know.
As you can see throughout the day, they became much more relaxed. They weren't as scared when we walked by, and they just started becoming quite playful. We hate to break the two up. They're having such a good time. Right now, we're just gonna let them be siblings and have their fun. I got a kangaroo in my pouch. And I got a kangaroo on this side too. One tail. And another tail. Somewhere there should be another face in there. There it is, right there, a little face somewhere. Double-decker babies. I'm a kangaroo and they are my joeys.